If you're starting your car like this, you're destroying your engine right now. These 15 mistakes cost drivers thousands in repairs, and you're probably making at least 3 of them every single day. Mistake number 12? Even experienced drivers get this one wrong, and it could leave you stranded tomorrow. Let's fix this right now. Mistake 1. Starting without checking your surroundings. You jump into your car, turn the key, throw it in reverse, and boom, you've just backed into your kid's bicycle, or worse. This might seem like common sense, but this mistake sends thousands of people to the hospital every year. Here's what most people don't realize. Your car has massive blind spots. Even with backup cameras and sensors, there are zones around your vehicle where a small child, a pet, or even a shopping cart is completely invisible. According to safety research, backover accidents injure about 15,000 people annually in the United States, and tragically, young children are the most common victims. But it's not just about backing up. Starting your car without checking around it means you might miss that puddle of oil underneath, indicating a serious leak. You might not notice the flat tire until you're already driving. You could even miss someone walking behind your car in a parking lot. So what's the right way? Simple. Before you even get in your car, do a quick walk around. It takes 10 seconds. Check behind and around your vehicle. Look for toys, animals, people, or obstacles. Glance under the car for leaks or flat tires. Then, when you get in and start the engine, check all your mirrors before moving. Your backup camera is a tool, not a replacement for your eyes and common sense. Make this a habit, every single time, no exceptions. Mistake 2. Not pressing the clutch or brake pedal properly. Modern cars have a built-in safety mechanism. You can't start the engine unless you fully press the clutch pedal in a manual transmission or the brake pedal in an automatic. But here's what people do wrong. They half press it, barely push it, or they press it and then let it up slightly while turning the key. If you're driving a manual and don't fully depress the clutch, and your car happens to be in gear, what happens when that engine fires up? The car lurches forward or backward immediately. I've seen this happen in parking lots where someone forgot they left it in first gear. Instant collision, instant insurance claim. For automatic transmissions, if you're not fully pressing the brake, the safety interlock might not engage properly. In older vehicles or those with worn mechanisms, insufficient brake pressure could allow the car to roll if it's on an incline. That click you feel when you press the pedal all the way down? That's the interlock switch engaging. When you only half press the pedal, you're bypassing the very protection that engineers installed to keep you safe. The right way is non-negotiable. In a manual transmission, push that clutch pedal all the way to the floor. Make absolutely certain you're in neutral. In an automatic, press the brake pedal firmly until you feel that distinct click. Only then turn the key or push the start button. Mistake 3. Cranking the engine for too long. You turn the key and the engine doesn't start immediately. So, what do most people do? They hold that key in the start position for 10, 15, even 20 seconds straight. This is one of the fastest ways to destroy your starter motor and kill your battery. Your starter motor is designed for short bursts, 3 to 5 seconds maximum. It draws an enormous amount of current from your battery, sometimes 200 to 400 amps. When you hold it engaged for extended periods, that motor overheats rapidly. The copper windings inside can actually start to melt. Meanwhile, your battery is being absolutely hammered, and this can destroy a perfectly healthy battery in a single morning of excessive cranking. But there's more. If you've got a fuel-injected engine, cranking too long can flood it. Your fuel injectors keep spraying fuel into the cylinders while you're cranking. If the engine isn't firing, that fuel accumulates, washes away the protective oil film on cylinder walls, and can foul your spark plugs. So what's the right approach? Crank for 3 to 5 seconds maximum. If the engine doesn't start, release the key and wait 30 seconds before trying again. This gives the starter motor time to cool down and allows your battery to recover. If your car doesn't start after 3 or 4 attempts, stop. Something is wrong, and continuing to crank will only cause more damage. Mistake 4. Pumping the gas pedal in modern fuel-injected cars. If you learned to drive on a car from the 70s or 80s, you might remember pumping the gas pedal before starting. That was correct technique for carbureted engines. But if you're doing this in any car made after 1990, you're doing it completely wrong. Old carbureted engines relied on a mechanical system to mix air and fuel. When the engine was cold, you needed to manually prime the carburetor by pumping the pedal. But modern cars use electronic fuel injection. Your car has an engine computer that monitors dozens of sensors and calculates exactly how much fuel to inject automatically. When you pump the gas pedal in a fuel-injected car, the throttle position sensor tells the computer you're pressing the accelerator. The computer dumps extra fuel into the cylinders, but the engine isn't running yet, so that fuel just pools in the intake manifold and cylinders. Pump it 3 or 4 times and you've flooded your engine. This creates multiple problems. Too much fuel prevents the engine from starting because the fuel-to-air ratio is wrong. That excess liquid fuel washes the protective oil film off your cylinder walls, causing metal-on-metal contact and accelerated wear. The unburned fuel can also foul your spark plugs. The right way to start any modern fuel-injected car: don't touch the gas pedal at all. Just turn the key or push the start button. The computer handles everything. Mistake 5. Starting in extreme cold without waiting. It's 15 degrees outside. Your car has been sitting all night and you're running late. You jump in, turn the key, and immediately take off. This is one of the most damaging things you can do to your engine. Here's what's happening inside your engine in extreme cold. Motor oil becomes incredibly thick. At 0 degrees Fahrenheit, your oil can be 10 times thicker than at normal operating temperature. That thick, sluggish oil is not flowing freely through your engine or lubricating components effectively. When you start a cold engine and immediately drive hard, you're forcing metal components to move against each other at high speeds with inadequate lubrication. This is called cold start wear, and some studies suggest that one cold start with immediate hard driving causes as much wear as 500 miles of normal warm engine driving. But you don't need to warm up for 10 minutes like the old days. That's wasteful and unnecessary with modern engines. The right approach is a middle ground. In extreme cold, start your engine and let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds. This gives the oil pump time to circulate oil throughout the engine. Then drive gently for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Keep your RPMs low. Don't accelerate hard. Think of it like stretching before a workout. Watch your temperature gauge, and once it reaches the middle range, you can drive normally. This protects your engine while getting you on the road quickly. Mistake 6. Ignoring dashboard warning lights before starting. You walk out to your car, and before you even turn the key, you notice the check engine light is on, or the oil pressure light, or the battery light. And what do most people do? They shrug, turn the key anyway, and hope for the best. This is catastrophically wrong. When you turn your key to the on position before starting, all warning lights should illuminate briefly. This is a bulb check. Then they should go out. If a light stays on, your car's computer has detected a problem. The oil pressure warning light is the most critical. If this stays on after starting, it means your engine is not getting proper oil pressure. Running an engine without oil pressure causes engine seizure within minutes. Bearings spinning and welding themselves to the crankshaft. This can total an engine that might have just needed a $50 sensor. The battery light means your alternator isn't charging properly. You might make it a few miles before everything shuts down, and a failing alternator can fry expensive computer modules. Temperature warning lights indicate overheating. Starting and running an overheated engine can warp the cylinder head or crack the engine block. Thousands in repairs. The right approach. Before starting, turn the key to on and watch the warning lights. If any stay on, especially oil pressure, battery, or temperature, do not start the engine. Check your oil level, coolant, and battery connections. If you can't identify the problem, get a tow. A $200 problem can become $5,000. Mistake 7. Starting with all accessories running full blast. You left your headlights on, radio at full volume, AC on max, then you turn the key. What you've just done is asked your battery and starter to perform their hardest job while simultaneously powering every other electrical system. This is like trying to sprint while carrying 3 people. When you start your car, the starter motor draws 150 to 400 amperes from your battery. That's massive. Now add your headlights drawing 10 amps, blower motor 15 amps, heated seats 5 amps each, plus radio and phone charger. Suddenly, your battery is trying to supply 350 to 360 amps total. Here's the problem. When you demand more than your battery can comfortably supply, voltage drops dangerously. A healthy battery should drop to maybe 10 volts during cranking, but with all accessories running, it can drop to 9 volts or lower. At that voltage, your starter cranks slower, your ignition gets weak spark, and your fuel pump doesn't build full pressure. Starting becomes harder and takes longer. The impact is worse in cold weather. Cold batteries have reduced capacity. At 0 degrees, your battery might only have 50% of its normal power. You've got the hardest starting conditions combined with reduced battery capacity and unnecessary electrical loads. The right way is simple. Before you turn the key, turn everything off. Headlights off, radio off, climate control off. Everything. Then start the engine, let it run for a few seconds, then turn on accessories. This tiny habit prevents big problems. Mistake 8. Jump starting without waiting. Your battery is dead, you've got jumper cables connected, and immediately you try to start your engine. Nothing happens, or it cranks weakly. Here's what went wrong. You didn't give your dead battery any time to actually charge. When a battery is completely drained, below 9 or 10 volts, it's like a dry sponge. It can't immediately accept a full charge. The chemical reactions inside the battery that store electrical energy need time to restart. When you first connect jumper cables, your dead battery isn't contributing anything yet. If you try to start immediately, all the electrical current from the donor vehicle has to flow directly to your starter motor. This puts enormous strain on their electrical system. You're asking their alternator to supply 300 to 400 amps instantly, which it simply cannot do. Their battery has to make up the difference, which can damage it. Even worse, if their engine isn't running, you can completely drain their battery too, leaving both cars stranded. And attempting to start with insufficient power can damage your starter motor, as it struggles and overheats trying to crank with inadequate voltage. The right way is patient and methodical. Connect the cables properly, positive to positive, negative to a ground point. Start the donor vehicle and let it run. Now here's the key. Wait 2 to 3 minutes. Let their alternator charge your battery. You'll actually see voltage building if you have a meter. Then attempt to start your car. This dramatically increases your success rate and protects both vehicles' electrical systems. Mistake 9. Turning the key back too quickly. You turn the key to start the engine. It begins to fire, and immediately you turn the key all the way back to the off position. Or in push-button cars, you press the start button again right after starting. This mistake can damage your engine and starter in ways you don't realize. Here's what's happening mechanically. When you release the key after starting, it should naturally spring back from the start position to the on or run position. In this position, your ignition system, fuel pump, and all engine electronics remain powered. The engine continues running smoothly. But if you turn it all the way back to off, you cut power to the fuel pump and ignition system while the engine is still in the process of firing up. The engine stumbles, runs rough, or stalls completely. With push-button ignition, pressing the button again while the engine is starting can re-engage the starter motor while the engine is already spinning. This causes a horrible grinding noise. That's the starter gear trying to mesh with a flywheel that's already rotating. This can strip teeth off both gears, leading to expensive starter and flywheel replacement. There's also the issue of restart attempts. Some people turn the key back and immediately try to start again because they didn't hear the engine catch. but modern engines often start so smoothly and quietly that you might not realize it's running. Attempting to start an already running engine is mechanically damaging. The right way. Turn the key to start, and the moment you hear the engine fire, simply release the key. Let it spring back naturally to the on position. Don't force it anywhere. For push-button starts, press once and wait. Don't touch it again. Mistake 10. Starting in the wrong gear. This one's specifically for manual transmission drivers. You get in your car, press the clutch, and turn the key while the transmission is still in first or second gear. Even though the clutch is pressed, this is creating unnecessary stress and potential danger. Here's the technical issue. When you start in gear with the clutch pressed, your starter motor has to overcome not just the engine's compression, but also the resistance of the entire drivetrain, the transmission, drive shaft, differential, and wheels. Even with the clutch disengaged, there's residual drag. This makes starting harder and puts extra load on your starter motor and battery. But the real danger is the safety risk. If your foot slips off the clutch pedal even slightly during starting, the car will lurch forward or backward immediately. I've seen this happen on hills where someone was starting in gear. Their foot slipped and the car jumped backward into another vehicle. In a crowded parking lot or driveway, this can cause serious accidents or injuries. There's also the mechanical wear issue. Starting in gear, especially on an incline, puts stress on your clutch components. The throwout bearing is under constant load, and if you're holding the clutch while cranking for several seconds, you're creating unnecessary wear. The right way is simple and safe. Always start in neutral. Before you turn the key, move the shifter to neutral and verify it by wiggling the shifter side to side. It should move freely. Then press the clutch pedal fully and start the engine. Once running and warmed up for a few seconds, then shift into first gear and go. This protects your starter, your clutch, and prevents accidental movement. Mistake 11. Not waiting for diesel glow plugs. If you drive a diesel, this mistake can make cold starts miserable and cause long-term damage. Many drivers turn the key straight to start without waiting for the glow plug light. It might work in warm weather, but it's completely wrong. Diesel engines don't use spark plugs. They rely on compression heat to ignite fuel. When the engine is cold, there isn't enough heat in the combustion chamber. That's why glow plugs exist. They preheat the chamber so fuel can ignite properly. When you turn the key to the on position, a coiled symbol lights up on the dash. That's the glow plug indicator. It means the glow plugs are heating. Depending on temperature, this can take 3 to 10 seconds, or longer in extreme cold. If you try to start before the light goes out, the engine struggles to fire. You get excessive white smoke from unburned fuel. You overload the battery and starter. You can even flood the engine and create carbon buildup on injectors and inside the combustion chamber. The right way is simple. Turn the key to on and wait. When the glow plug light goes out, then start the engine. In very cold weather, some diesels cycle the glow plugs twice. Wait for both cycles. Do this and your diesel will start smoothly every time. Mistake 12. Forcing the key or start button. Your key won't turn, or your push button start doesn't respond, so most people force it. They twist harder, mash the button repeatedly, or aggressively wiggle the key. That's the fastest way to damage your ignition system while completely missing the real problem. With traditional key ignitions, a stuck key is almost always caused by a locked steering wheel. This is a built-in security feature. If the wheel locks under pressure, it can prevent the ignition cylinder from turning. Forcing the key can snap it off or damage the internal pins, leading to an expensive repair. Push-button systems work differently. Repeatedly pressing the button does nothing. These systems require specific conditions. The brake pedal must be fully pressed, the key fob must be detected inside the vehicle, and the fob battery must have enough charge. If any of those aren't met, the car simply won't start, no matter how many times you press the button. Forcing a start can also cause starter damage. Trying to engage the starter while the engine is already starting or running creates that awful grinding noise, the starter gear slamming into the flywheel. The right way. If a key won't turn, gently move the steering wheel left and right while turning the key. For push-button starts, confirm your foot is firmly on the brake and check the key fob battery. Never force anything. Mistake 13. Starting with low fuel in extreme conditions. You're running on fumes, the fuel light's been on for miles, and the weather is either freezing cold or brutally hot. You shut the engine off, and next time you try to start, it cranks but won't fire or runs terribly. That's what happens when you push a near-empty tank. When fuel levels are low, your fuel pump pulls from the very bottom of the tank. That's where dirt, rust, and debris collect over time. Instead of clean fuel, that contamination gets pulled into the fuel filter and injectors, causing clogs and poor performance. Low fuel also damages the fuel pump itself. Modern electric fuel pumps rely on fuel for cooling. When the tank is nearly empty, the pump isn't fully submerged, especially during acceleration or on hills. It runs hotter, wears faster, and eventually fails. Fuel pump replacements can easily cost hundreds. Extreme temperatures make things worse. In cold weather, moisture in the tank can freeze in fuel lines. In hot weather, low fuel levels increase evaporation and raise the risk of vapor lock. The right approach is simple. Keep your tank at least 1/4 full, especially in extreme temperatures. It protects the fuel pump, keeps the fuel system clean, and ensures reliable starts. Mistake 14. Not listening to your engine. This is one of the most ignored mistakes of all. You turn the key, hear a strange noise, feel a slow crank, or smell something unusual, but you brush it off and keep driving. Your engine is literally warning you, and ignoring it can cost you thousands. Different sounds mean different problems. A slow, labored crank, rrr, 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 usually means a weak battery. Fix it early or risk getting stranded. A rapid clicking sound means the battery is completely dead. One single click points to a failing starter or solenoid. A grinding or screeching noise during startup is even worse. That means the starter gear isn't engaging the flywheel properly. Keep starting it like that, and you can destroy both the starter and the flywheel. Once running, rough idle, hesitation, or smoke are serious clues. White smoke in a diesel often means unburned fuel from glow plug or injection problems. Blue smoke means oil is burning, worn rings or valve seals. Black smoke means the engine is running too rich. Smells matter too. A sweet smell suggests a coolant leak. Burning oil means oil on hot exhaust parts. A rotten egg smell often points to catalytic converter trouble. The right approach is simple. Know what your car normally sounds, smells, and feels like. Anything unusual is a warning. Catch problems early and they're cheap. Ignore them and they turn into catastrophic failures. So there you have it. Common starting mistakes that are costing drivers thousands in repairs every single year. From pumping the gas pedal in your fuel-injected car to cranking too long, ignoring warning lights, these mistakes add up to serious engine damage over time. The good news? Every single one of these is completely avoidable. Just a few seconds of attention before you turn that key can save you from a breakdown, extend your engine's life by tens of thousands of miles, and keep money in your pocket instead of your mechanics. So here's my question for you. Which of these mistakes have you been making? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if this video just saved you from a costly repair, hit that subscribe button for more car care tips that actually matter. I'll see you in the next one. Drive safe out there.